from a Dark Soul 9669. This is God, great. Being able to reasonably bounce between World of Warcraft and FF14 patches without feeling strangled feels good. Also, shout out to the New 24 man hitting us with a 90s anime opening track. I didn't know that.
I haven't heard it
I'm
yet.
behind.
I've not had the chance to go in because the first thing I do every time there's a patch is I immediately do MSQ. But this week I've been shattered. So I'm like, okay, I actually have set aside tonight and all of tomorrow and all of Sunday to do everything. But I have seen that Hungry Chads posted the videos, like there's like 3 spots on my YouTube recommend that's always there. I'm like, I can't click you just yet. I'm sorry. I have to do this on Saturday and then I'll come back to you. But I've seen praise. Although a lot of it is very, very good that you can balance these 2 video games. But to people who can balance those 2 video games, I do have a resounding off because I can't at the minute. Some doing other things. But yeah, like I think a lot of that is World of Warcraft's so much less stressful to play. In the sense of for the past couple of weeks I've just been raid logging and like maybe once a day for a couple M+. And I'm like, is this me getting every ounce of value out of my dollar that I give Blizzard? No. Is it me having a healthy relationship with the video game where I play it when I want to, when I feel like it, with people I'm enjoying the game with? Hell yes.
Yeah.
And that is so much better than any point in BFA or Shadowlands. It's even better than any point in Legion. Although I enjoyed the game a lot more in Legion for like all the stuff that felt that I had to do. It hadn't worn me down into, oh, hang on, I recognize that these are all chores wasting my life. I enjoyed it a lot back then. So for the THDs out there who like spending a lot of time, so I guess it might like that. But for me, it's like this is hitting a really healthy, sustainable game cadence for its ass of players, and that's not something I expected them to get right.
That is so true. Like at its worst, World of Warcraft would actually damage gaming as a hobby because even take, say, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. I just bring it up because that's almost a purely intrinsic go have fun game, or maybe Minecraft that I'm playing now. Yeah. At some points in the past, you'd be like, but I'm behind in this, I'm behind in that.
Yep.
I didn't do my 2 Torghast runs, which meant that I missed out on my very efficient Soul Ash/Cinders this week. No! And like, is that small? Like, yeah. But if that's, say, an hour and a half or 2 hours or 3 hours of time a week, that's like a fairly chunky proportion of your spare time. Yeah. And it drags, a rising tide, raises all ships. Not that this is a sinking tide, but it would like damage everything around it. And it's just that healthy relationship of and I've been playing WoW the same way as you have, because it's been like super busy. Obviously, Pale Beyond's coming out Q1 of this year. I've been very busy doing that and a few other things. So it's like I haven't had the time. But also, it's fine. I don't care. I'm still happy with my game experience. That's the big difference.
Yeah, and that's the thing they've largely lacked. It's as I've been saying a lot recently, it's the death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft was one of the worst examples of that in modern video games, where it's just there's 40 million things that kind of bug you. And they just weigh on you and weigh on you until you don't want to play the game anymore. And that's just how it's been for an awful long time since Legion. It's just that it took a long time for those 1,000 cuts to accumulate. And then it did, and that's when the straw that broke the camel's back, with Shadowlands being really, really bad and probably delivering about 500 of those cuts itself.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing where like Donuts here says, I've been hooked on Power Wash Sim, haven't touched WoW, don't feel like you're falling behind. Yeah. That's them finally learning that they need to harbor a good player experience for people who don't actively play all the time. And there's a push and a pull there to get it right, because you do have to have people log in every now and again, or the habit formation breaks and stuff like that. You want to give people a gentle push, generally speaking. And that's where I think like World of Warcraft's always been good with scheduled raiding, where if I weren't scheduled to raid, I'd probably like not log in as much, but I'm scheduled to raid, so I go, oh yeah, this is my raid time, so I'll go raid now and I'll enjoy it. So people do need a bit of a gentle push. But otherwise, when you don't have that, you get to go, yeah, I'll just go play another game. Like an example is, I've been kind of going, well, I should get my item level up a little bit. But the raid has been designed, like difficulty-wise, it's been easy enough that I've not felt the need to overgear it particularly. to like I can keep pretty high DPS and I can
great.
and I can continually parse pretty well for stuff. We've not been too stretched on damage or healing particularly. It's kind of a little bit more of a skill issue than a gear issue, I found, in every capacity so far, which means I'm not going, oh, I should do more M+ for more gear. I'm just like, I don't really feel like M+. I kind of like, when I sit down to like play something at the end of the night, I kind of go, okay, well, what do I do? And then I run through all those parts, like, do I watch Battlestar Galactica? No, I still need a break after the end of season 3 because that's fucking brutal. You know, do I watch some anime? No, everything this season's kind of garbage. Okay, that's not true, so it's fine. But then I go, okay, well, maybe I'll do some M+. And I go, it's a bit late and I don't really want to pug because that's a nightmare experience. No one else online. All right, I'll just spend the next 2 hours finishing Splatoon 2's October expansion. And I have more fun. World of Warcraft not making me play it has made me happy because I get to play other things that make me happy and then go back to play World of Warcraft happier for it. And that's like the weird thing about fitting into an ecosystem as a game. And yeah, Splatoon 2 is really fun. And that was great. I like World of Warcraft more because of Splatoon 2. Who'd have thought? But that's how it works, I think, in the grand scheme of how people engage with games as a player, especially live service ones.
Yeah, you bring yourself to the game.
Yep.
And yeah, there can be bad feedback loops. So overall, it's great. And certainly with the way FF14 is designed, for so many of the people who just want to like see the Alliance raid, do the story for the raid, do the MSQ, it's like you just take it or leave it whenever you want. I mean, why so many people are happy with that. And it interfaces with modern WoW good in a way where I think these games could be synergistic, which is certainly nice than a big internet war.
Yeah, I mean, that's the games have to fit into your life, right?
Yeah.
That's the curse they will have and something they have to deal with. They can't control it. They have to fit into it for the long-term win. And it's just we're finally sort of learning that a little bit.